Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to talk specifically about the key feel of the brand new Nord Grand 2. Last week, I was traveling for some music stuff, and I had the pleasure of playing the original Nord Grand against this new Nord Grand 2. And I'm happy to report that I really like the improvements they've made to the Nord Grand 2 keybed. So number one, right off the bat, it's less noisy. So the best way I can describe the original Nord Grand is it's got this thunky sound when you play it. And that's gone with the Nord Grand 2. Like I said in my last video, they've improved the dampening in both the keybed itself, but also in the Nord Grand body. And all of that's helped to tighten things up and reduce the amount of mechanical noise you get with the keys. So I can tell you, it sounds a whole lot better than the original Nord Grand. And I said in my last video, you know, from my memory of playing the Nord Grand like a year ago, I felt like the Nord Grand 2 was a heavier action. And I'm not sure as it's actually heavier. It may be slightly heavier, but I think it's the tightening up of everything that just makes it feel a little bit more refined and overall just has a better feel. I also got to play a few other digital pianos and keyboards over the week and got to compare them with the Nord Grand 2 as well, including some digital pianos and workstations, some 88 key versions from all of the big manufacturers. I would say in terms of like, you know, where this sits in the realm, I think it sits in between your workstation 88 key action, like your Phantom, and even the Nord Piano 5 and Nord Stage 4 tend to be on the lighter scale. They're more utility. You're playing other sounds like organs, electric pianos, things like that. Then you have the Nord Grand 2. I think that sits in kind of this sweet spot. I love it. Of all the digital pianos and keyboards I played, Nord Grand 2 sits at the top of my list. I love the way this feels. It's right in that sweet spot of not too light and not too heavy. Then on the heavier side, you have like the Korg SV2. To me, that's a great action, but it's a little on the heavy side, especially if you're going to be playing electric pianos. And then you have keyboards like the Yamaha YC. I love that action as well. It's got the wood keys, but it's also a little heavier than the Nord Grand 2. And so again, I really love what Nord has done with the Nord Grand 2 action. It feels really refined and high quality. I was really surprised actually at how cheap some of the other digital pianos and lower cost stuff felt compared to the Nord Grand 2. Having them kind of in the same room, I was able to get a really good idea of how good this key feel actually is compared to a lot of the other offerings that are out there today. Now keep in mind, workstations, they're gearing their keybeds, even though it's 88, key action, a lot of times it's more of a utility keybed. And so they're going to err usually on the lighter side. Now, when it comes to the shape of the keys, I'm also a really big fan of the Nord Grand keys. I was playing some others. I think they were from Roland and Yamaha, and the corners of the keys are actually pretty sharp. If you kind of hold down two and you were to feel the corners of an individual key, they're pretty sharp. Whereas the Nord Grand 2 has a bit of a rounding to the key, which is really nice because as a live player, sometimes to dynamically build as we come, after maybe a cut where all the instruments cut out and we come in with this glide. Or if I'm doing, the glide up. Some digital pianos that have the sharp edges hurt when you do that. You build a lot of friction. And so I appreciate that about the key shape where, to me, it's still got the lip, it's the closed front, feels like a real piano, but it doesn't have super sharp corners. And for me, personal preference, I prefer that over sharp cornered keys. So I know a lot of this comes down to personal preference. For me, I've always liked the Nord Action. The Nord Stage 4, kind of perfect utility action in my mind. And I think the Nord Grand 2 really, it hits the nail on the head. I'm going to play you just a couple of programs here just to round out this video because you can only talk so long about a keybed before everyone loses interest. So let's go over to A21, which is the soft Grand. I'm going to bring in some dynamic compression just to give this even more presence because it's a softer sound. And we've got this sound here. beautiful sound. Let's go over to maybe A32, which is a medium-sized pearl upright. We'll talk more about the piano sizes and how that affects the quality in another video. But the medium one, you can have a little bit more sample stretching, less of the string resonance samples. Still a beautiful upright sound though. And let's grab one more. Let's go with program A42, which is Midnight Upright. You can tell there's a bit of hall reverb in there, dynamic compression, and this is actually set to the bright timbre. So let's check this out. I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope maybe this is helpful for you as you're looking at, do I upgrade from the original Nord Grand to the Nord Grand 2, or is the Nord Grand 2 maybe the digital piano that I buy for my home or for stage use? And you're wondering, how does a Keybed feel? Is it an improvement on the original Nord Grand? I can say, hands down, it's an improvement. Like I mentioned, sits right in that sweet spot. I think it's the perfect action, lines up well with an actual real grand piano. If you've got any questions, throw those down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks for watching. Stay inspired and keep making that music.